What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Savage Land. Welcome back to another episode of The Field. And today on The Field, I just want to do a special episode, just kind of gloating over my classified figures. And one I'm going to start off with gloating is my man Xandar, which I received yesterday from Amazon. He wasn't supposed to ship out to the 24th of January, but he came about a week or two earlier. And I am so glad to have this figure in hand. I first seen him in person about 2 weeks ago. My man Chris had him, and I like the digital render of this figure. I liked them when I seen them on other YouTubers channels being reviewed, and I most definitely like this guy now that I have him in hand. He is a stellar figure. This guy is a true rock star. But today I'm not necessarily doing a review of this figure. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in a special elite class of classifieds that I have that are some of the best classified figures, I think, period. I only chose 5, and be honest with you, with these 5 right here, these are the only ones I probably would put up now. Now, there are some honorable mentions. There's some ones that come close, but no cigar. These 5 figures right here, I believe, are flawless. These 5 figures are right here. I believe anybody who has these in hand or own these figures know they are flawless and that they are A1 thou wow. So today's episode will be the top 5 classified figures, period. Now, I know the countdown season is still going on, but this is not necessarily a countdown season. I'm not going to rank these guys. Actually, I am going to rank these guys just for the fun of it. But at any given time, I think any one of these figures could be number 1. I'm just going to rank her for fun, but I just want to get this special elite group, my starting 5, and kind of explain why I think they're some of the greatest classified figures ever produced. If I had to put these guys up against another starting 5 in any one single line, I think they'll give anybody a run for their money. So let's jump right into it. This episode is going to be real quick, but today's episode on the field is Gloating. That's the name of it, over my top 5 classified figures, period. Alright, the first guy we're going to start off with is Xandar, because it's technically an episode pretty much based around him. Once I received him, I just thought to myself, like, what is the top classified guys? And he automatically came one. Basically, Xandar to me is like a rookie that I scouted from high school to college, and then he came into the league and did his thing. And that's basically what this guy is. Start off with his face sculpt. His face sculpt is immaculate in my eyes. I always have the phrase like, oh, this guy could be a rock star in the classified, which I say it sometimes, and sometimes by the time I get the figure, I gotta demote people, but this guy didn't get demoted. He's a great all-star rookie, and the crazy thing about it is he truly is a rock star. When you look at him, he looks like somebody from an 80s hair metal band. He even has like eyeliner on to kind of highlight his eyes. Now, the thing I have noticed about when I say guys are rock stars or they're just great classified figures with face sculpts, I lean more towards the realistic face sculpts. I would say out of the 5 I'm going to show you, he has the least realistic face, because I don't know what it is. There's something still smallly, remotely cartoony about him, but for the most part, he's leaning more towards the realistic side, and there's no flaws in his face. There's a lot of guys I could throw up there, and they're like, okay, they're really great figures, but they have something going on, like Road Pig. He got the number 1 classified figure this past year, but of course, his face had some flaws, even though it wasn't a bad face sculpt. But Xandar, on point. I love the paint that they got on his face, as far as the paint or the tattoos, the striping is going across there. The bright red hair is amazing. I mean, this guy looks really, really good in hand, and for the most part, his entire sculpt, as far as his body, looks great. Now, some might argue that, hey, he's not like the original because of the blue that he has on. It's kind of more like a royal blue as far as his original 3 3/4 figure, but I like the blue that they chose here. It's more kind of like a gunmetal gray mixed with like a blue. I can't really spot the hue that he has going on, but I think it's great for classified. I think it's great for a more realistic sculpt instead of just kind of like that royal blue that he has going on. The gold paint that they gave him to highlight his sculpt, as far as the skulls on the shoulders, his chain, the guards over his hand, is just amazing, man. This is a great looking figure right here. He feels good in hand too. There's a quality about his plastic when you hold him. If you know, you're used to dealing with action figures, you know what a quality paint, what quality plastic feels like and what a cheap figure feels like. This guy doesn't feel cheap by any way, shapes, or bounds. Like I said, I love the gold paint that they put on him as far as the accents. I love the color of his jeans. It kind of has like that almost faded, washed blue jean feel, but it almost kind of has like a gray accent to him. Great figure. As far as his weapons wise, as far as the gun, the little harpoon gun he has, the 9mm that's not on his hip, but is actually attached to his tactical vest, is awesome. And then he has a backpack that's really just for show. It doesn't carry anything, but it's a great looking backpack. It has the diamond cut. Like I have an old school classic car with diamond cut seats, just like how this backpack is, almost kind of like a quilted type look, man. But this guy is amazing. I haven't even really dug into this guy as far as take off his vest, but if you want that more classic look, you can do that. But I really don't want to. I think he looks awesome, man. I mean, this dude is fire. It's been a minute. Now, Classified was kind of slow last year, but they didn't really pump out a lot, I guess I would say, in my eyes. But it's been a while since I looked at a figure and was like, wow, man, I'm really glad I got this guy. I'm Classified crazy, so this one I got from Amazon. I have 2 more at BBTS, and that's just how much I like him. The cool thing about Classified is they make you gravitate towards figures that you never ever really cared about. And I won't necessarily say Xandar is my favorite guy. I never even thought of Xandar like that. But as soon as this Classified dropped, as soon as it's seen the render, if you follow my channel, you know I've been salivating over this guy, man, pretty much ever since he was introduced. And even in the back with his knife sheath, his knife has a nice silver paint on it. I like the way his knife looks. It's not like your traditional knife. I'm already planning out a whole future for this guy. I already know what bike I want to put him on and everything, man. So great figure, great rookie, great addition, a great rookie to a team that already started coming in producing. He's a Cam Newton, he's a LeBron James. He's pretty much a quintessential guy that you draft and you sought out, and he's paying in dividends, man. So Xandar is one of the top 5 greatest classifieds, period, man. Shout out to the Hasbro team for really going in on this guy and doing their thing. All right, next up we got my man Outback, and that's Tiger Force Outback. All right, now I know guys might say like, okay, this is not the original Outback, but this guy actually came before the original Outback, and let's just keep it A100. The original Outback, which came after this guy, came in a very crappy wave discoloration with the elbows. Face looks kind of funny and just not quite hitting the mark. And then his hair on his arm, as far as this Cheeto color that he had going on, just really wasn't hitting. But what I want to talk about with this Outback is this guy right here. Face sculpt looks stellar. Definitely looks like an older version of the original character. Pretty much almost looks like another character within itself. He could be Outback's father. This is my go-to Outback right here. Once again, I always thought Outback was cool when I was younger, but I never really gravitated to him. This made me gravitate to Outback. This buck right here is your standard classified stud. Not really a super big guy, kind of a medium guy when it comes to far as body types. In real life, he would probably be like a 5'11", maybe 6 foot guy, clocking in at about 200, 210 pounds. You know, a lot of times with toy lines, you got these super big people, or you got these just kind of waney, like skinny framed characters that doesn't have enough bulk. This guy's definitely packing enough bulk in his biceps, triceps, his glutes, his traps. I mean, he looks really good. He is one of the 2 classified bodies that I say is a stud. Now, we can make the argument for a Range Viper, but the Range Viper is an awesome figure, but guess what? It's his body. And also with the face sculpt of a Range Viper, dope. But guess what? How hard is it to make a masked face sculpt? This is the originator. This is the OG of the body frame. The new Falcon sits on this body frame, and a host of other figures that pick parts from this body. This is your quintessential classified body right here. The next figure up in my classic starting 5 is none other than your boy Rock and Roll. And this isn't the OG version. This is the newer classified version, which I ordered up some of the OG versions that's going to be coming in the OD green, like his original 13 outfit. But I actually like this one. Once again, just like Outback, I kind of like the alternate version better than the original, which the original won't be too different. The only thing we'll be missing is the cool tattoos that he got. Now, I got him dressed up a little bit, and I'll take off that. But if anybody's wondering, this is the I Am in a Real American Hulk Hogan WW Elite's Mattel guitar and glasses on him. I thought that was just a cool concept for him. You know, he's rock and roll, so why not give him a guitar? But let's take off that stuff so we can see what this guy truly looks like. What this countdown is basically based off of is face sculpts mainly. But you know, the body is coming into play too, as far as just a picture perfect body frame. But when you start using a head sculpt to put on other figures, that's when you know you got a classic OG head sculpt. And I've seen this guy get put on Captain America. When you got a great head sculpt, that can extend the playability of what you got going on here. But this is the second stud body sculpt. I said Outback will probably be 5'11", 200 pounds. This guy will probably be a 6 foot, or you can even go with a 5'10". You know, I can't remember which one was bigger or taller than the other one, which I'll get the break Outback out in a second here. But this guy's clocking in about 220. But look at these two guys together. I mean, you could place these guys as anybody. You could make them Contra if you wanted to. I know they look different from the characters, but just two studs, two great bodies, two muscular bound guys, and at the same time, different. Next up is the only sleeper figure that I have on here, because I just really, wasn't paying attention to him last year when I picked him up, but I almost had to get him because he was in my quest to buy the 1 through 100 and definitely have all of those figures. And it's Snow Job. Once again, great face sculpt. He has pretty much the most realistic face sculpt out of all of these guys. Very unique body. They did great on that. And he is the most well-equipped classified. I think they just nailed as far as everything he needs. He has the snowshoes, he has the skis, he has the ski poles, he has a big rifle in the backpack, and all of it fits on his backpack. He's probably the only classified figure that I just keep fully loaded up. I'm not a huge backpack guy because they can make your figures kind of topsy-turvy, but as you can see here, he stands well. This is how he stands all the time with all his gear on it. And then he has the most realistic face sculpt that I find it quite scary sometimes when I look into like face sculpts like his that's just so realistic. Like it almost kind of sends chills up my body. I think the only other figure that did that was the Mayfax Dark Knight Batman. That's the old man Bruce Wayne head sculpt. One time I was just looking at it and it was the middle of the night and I just kind of got scared. I'm like, man, this dude looks almost too real. He is so good. His secondary face sculpt made me finally find a body to put him on, man. Two great face sculpts, very well loaded down, very easy to get. Now he's pretty much out of circuit, but he was on Hasbro Post for a very long time. Once again, very unique character. They nailed it with the Parker and the snow gear. Great dude. Now people might have little tidbits about, as far as the maybe paint, maybe needed more paint on his part. I don't look. I think he looks awesome. If I needed to add a wash to him or anything like that, I would just do it myself. But other than that, I have no problems with this guy. He's definitely well equipped for what he's made for, being out in the snow. Been a very cold winter this year, so I know a lot of people who got this figure definitely went to work on him. But the main thing I wanted to scream about with him is what makes him one of the top 5 greatest classifieds ever produced is those face sculpts. They are very hard to beat, man. So great figure, very sleeper figure. I know probably some people slept on him and probably mad they didn't eventually get him, but he was up and available and ready to go, so that made it also very awesome for him to be easy and accessible to get. So one of the top 5 greatest classifieds of all time goes to my man Snow Job, sleeper, off the Ultimate Sleeper figure. And last but not least, the top dog of them all, the man who changed the trajectory of the classified line, is my guy Major Blood here. A figure that tops the way he used to look. Matter of fact, I'm almost thinking they're scared to release the OG of him because they don't know which way to go. should we keep him like this, or should we give him that pirate look that he had back in the day with the eye patch? I mean, this guy has one of the most realistic face sculpts. His face sculpt, even his body, his buck still holds up, even though he's like one of the first generations. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years now since the classified line has been going on, and he still holds up with pins in his arms and knees and all. He's still on one of the old classified bucks because it's smaller. Like if you ever look at Spirit, look at the original Duke, kind of look at everybody from that era, they all have those slim legs. Classified has thickened their people up a little bit, kind of gave them a little bit more bulk, and this guy still sits on one of those slimmer frames, but he looks good the way he sits. Masterpiece of a figure. As far as me, I really don't want to see the old looking one. I like this one right here. I like the classified looking one. This guy, like I said, he made me sit up when I first seen him. I was like, what the hell is that? Wow, when they coming out with that? And he came in a time of classified where things were looking real dry. Like we was dealing with a lot of movie figures, and like, well, wow, this is what we getting here. But like I said, this guy is the OG. He is the king of all classifieds in my eye. I was trying to just do the countdown on which way I would put it, but I still don't think anybody debunks him because just pretty much what he stands for, how he still looks. He's a great figure. Like I said, I think he almost has the classified team scared because if they come back around with him, they got to come with their A1 game because they gave it all on this one. This guy right here made everybody classified crazy. And if it didn't make everybody classified crazy, it definitely made me classified crazy. So Major Blood is the last guy in my starting 5, the OG, the guy who holds it down, the Michael Jordan of the classified line. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and rank these guys, and like I said, at any given day, any one of these can change positions, but I'm gonna go ahead and rank these guys, and put them in their rankings just for view and pleasure. So at number 5 of my greatest classifieds of all time, and it's been hard too. I've been thinking about which way should I put these guys. I'm gonna go with Outback. I hate to do it because Outback has been one of my favorites forever. Got Outback at number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna do my boy Rock and Roll. Makes perfect sense to have them together. Okay, number 4, Rock and Roll. Number 3, which is really a sleeper, man. I probably had it in a different way last night. Number 3, we're gonna go with Snow Job. Number 2, the rookie who is holding it down. I'm trying to tell you, man, this is a dope action figure, man. Xandar. And of course, at number 1, and still holding it down. And look, I thought about not putting him at number 1, man. But it's hard to beat this guy, man. It's hard to beat this guy for what he stands for and just basically what he is. It is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. We got my man Major Blood. So there we have it, folks. The top 5 classified figures, period. All very unique, all different the way they sit, all different body sculpts, and different far as Outback and Rock and Roll. Their body has been busted up to make a bunch of different figures, man. So what more can you say about a great line and a great group of figures? This is my starting 5. This is what I believe are the top 5 greatest G.I. Joe classifieds, period. As for right now. And Xandar, like I said, welcome to an elite group. He definitely stands on business. But we're going to wrap it up with that. This is the Savage Land. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on my Instagram at Geppetto910. And we do this for the love and beauty of great head sculpts produced by G.I. Joe Classified. Great bodies, great bucks, great figure fodder produced by G.I. Joe Classified. And with that said, until the next time, God bless. If you ain't got your hands on any of these figures, grab them.